What if the biggest thing holding you back isn't your boss, or isn't your company, or even isn't the economy right now that we have? What if it's the conversation that you've never had with yourself? I'm Tamara Pierce, founder of the Skylane Company, and welcome to Career Convos in the Park. It's a place where we slow down long enough to think differently about work, leadership, purpose, and the careers we're building. Just to give you a little bit about myself, I am Tamara. I've worked in human resources for over a decade. I worked in corporate America, and I've worked with entry level candidates all the way up to executive level and navigated the workspace and work politics for quite some time. And a lot of times what I've heard in these phone conversations is, it's my boss. I'm held at a certain point and they're not seeing beyond where I am. And so here is a space where we can slow down, hear the birds chirp, and then rethink about our careers and how we want to build them intentionally. And so, with this park bench question I have, let's open up with this. If nothing changed about your career for the next 3 years, would you honestly be okay with where you're headed? Think about it. If nothing changed from where you are right now, would you be okay? Would you be satisfied? Would you be fulfilled? Or would there be a desire for more? I know I know it's always said that it takes about a year to really be successful in your role. You know, the first 3 to 6 months to get a grasp of it. And then after that point, a year is when you're really running smoothly in it. But and I'm not promoting, this is not me promoting to job hop after a year. This is not that at all. The conversation is really about yourself and what do you want out of your career. And so I just wanted to throw that question out there. And so here in this space, and quick career convos in the park, we'll talk about a few things. Most career advice tells you to update your resume and apply for every job, apply for the jobs that you see that fit what you're looking for. And also don't forget to make sure to have your resume to align to the job posting that you're applying to, and network more, and then ask for the promotion. Now, all these things are true. They do matter. Before we start with strategy comes clarity. And I know clarity is a big buzzword these days. So I like to say, let's start with honesty. Let's be honest with ourselves. Slow down. Think about it. What do you really want? Be honest with yourself. Career Convos in the Park exist because every great career begins with having better conversations. You know, you can have conversations with your mentor. Having a mentor is very important. Someone who's in a space that is where you're trying to get to, having those conversations with them, excellent. Then there is having conversations with your managers. Yes. Yes, your managers need to be aware of where you want to take your career, on what you're looking to get out of your current role. You need to have conversations with your managers. But this time here, we want to have better conversations with ourselves, and be honest. Be honest. What do you really want? What do you really want? I know one thing that's on the rise now is entrepreneurship, but is that something that you really want? Or would you rather support someone's vision and thrive in that space? It's called being honest with yourself and what you're really looking for, what would really light your soul on fire, what burns you with passion, what you believe your purpose is. And so We'll talk about 5 pillars here in this show. One, career growth. We'll talk about career progressions, visibility, what steps you need to take to make sure that you are visible before not just your leadership, but amongst your peers and even across departments, across teams, networking, where to network, how to do that, how to get comfortable with yourself, with talking about yourself. We'll talk about skill development. We'll talk about career transitions, how to transition into your next role, how to communicate that, and then also personal branding. Number two, leadership. Leadership is very important, and leadership doesn't begin with the title. It begins with you and how you position yourself. We'll talk about leadership presence, influence, emotional intelligence. We'll dive deeper into that. And it's not just another buzzword, but it's something that you really need in order to navigate the workspace. We'll talk about leading yourself and not looking for someone to always manage your every move, your every moment. But how do you lead yourself beyond motivation? Leading peers, how to navigate that. We'll also talk about first time managers. We'll dive into that. I know some of you have already made it into your next role and now you are the leader of a department for the first time. Oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Don't worry, we're here for that too. And then leading with heart and excellence. Leading with excellence, yes, that is an expectation to make sure to meet your quotas, meet the goals that you have set, your sales goals, all those different things. But you also have to make sure to lead with heart. We'll talk about that and how to balance those things. Number three, we'll talk about purpose and fulfillment, what meaningful work looks like. Passion versus purpose, knowing when to pivot. We'll unpack things like that. And then bringing your whole self to work. If we have to show up as somebody else, then we're already failing if we're not really our full self. Number four, workplace culture, how to work with difficult coworkers. We'll talk about healthy workspaces, what that looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. We'll talk about toxic environments. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have experienced that and I can have an amen corner with that, with toxic work environments. But then we'll talk about identifying the differences between the two and some of the things that we may not necessarily be familiar with, but that can actually help you with moving forward. We'll talk about trust and then psychological safety in the workplace, which is very important. And then we'll talk about what makes people stay or leave, having those conversations. And lastly, number five, navigating the workplace. We'll talk about office politics, those difficult conversations, relationships, what kind of relationships are healthy to have in the workplace. We'll talk about boundaries and how we need to set them and honor them. And then in addition to that, we'll talk about our mindset, confidence, resilience, and courage in order to keep moving forward because we got places to go, whether it's staying in the current role that we're in and building upon that with job enlargement or job enrichment or progressing forward into something else. And so those are a few things that we'll uncover and unpack in this journey in career convos in the park. Now, I got a few reflection questions. We got a career check right here. So what part of your career feels most stagnant? And what are you hoping that would change? Number two, which of these 5 areas need the most attention right now? Like right now. Like out of these things, we got career growth, leadership, workplace culture, purpose, and personal development and navigating the workplace. Which one needs the most attention right now? And then lastly, what kind of professional do you want to be? Let me rephrase that. What kind of professional do you want people to describe when they say your name. When they say your name, Sally Sue, what do you want the people to say about you, especially when you're not in the room? What do you want said of you? All right. So those are a few reflection questions. You can rewind this back if you want to write those questions down and dive deeper into that, especially that last one. And so I have a park assignment for you. So I want you to get out your handy dandy journal, your career journal. Get out your career journal. If you don't have one, you need to get one. And you can definitely get one from us here at the Skyline Company. But get your career journal and write down the date. I want you to write down the date, sit down with yourself in a quiet space, or you can have your little light bird music in the back or a jazz or something to make sure you're in a calm space where you can be honest with yourself. Because this is all about honesty rather than just clarity. Honesty is what we're looking for with yourself. So the question is, and I want you to write this at the top of the page, where am I in my career today? I want you to unpack all of that. Where you are in your career today, what it looks like, what it feels like. What does today look like in your career? Are you satisfied with it? And then the second part of that question is where do I honestly want to be 3 years from now? Where do I want to be 3 years from now? So the first part, write down where you are today, all the ups, the downs of it, the things you like about it, the things you don't, the things that are okay, that are bearable. Because honestly, in anything we do, there's still work involved. Whether you're passionate about what you're doing or not, there's still work involved. Of course, when you're doing what you love and you love what you do, there's still just a little bit of ounce of work in it. I don't know about y'all. I'll just pause for a little moment. I just love watching the home renovation shows, like your HGTV kind of things. I even watch it on YouTube as well. And what's beautiful to see is that these individuals, they are in their zone. They're in their happy place where they're redesigning these homes. They're reconfiguring them based on what the client is needing, what they're asking for, what they don't know how to do, but they need help to do. But guess what? Through the show, there's deadlines, there's coordination, there's making sure to have supplies sent to the home in good time. What I'm trying to say is there's still work involved, even when you're doing something that you love. So I don't want you to think that's a negative side of things. Just there's still work involved, even though you're loving what you do. And so write down where you are today, all the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, and then also where do you honestly want to be, honestly, 3 years from now? And then you can even go a little further where you want to be 5 years from now, and then also 10 years. But for now, the short term, let that be 3 years from now. And write that down. Take one page. It can be longer than one page if you want it to be. And then what I encourage you to do is to not edit anything. Don't edit anything. Don't scratch anything out. No, just build up on it. Build up on it. Just be free. Be open. This is your career journal. This is not for anybody else to see. You won't be tested on it. I promise I won't ask you to turn it in and say, no, this is wrong. No, this is not that space. And so it doesn't have to be any polished type of answer, but it has to be definitely from the heart and what you're wanting for yourself. Just honesty. I'm excited to go on this journey with you guys. I hope you're excited too. It's time to be intentional about where you want to go. Remember, the career you want doesn't happen by accident. Be intentional about where you're going. Be willing to do the work to get there. There's work to get there. Be willing to do the work to get there, and don't be afraid to take up space. Until next time, our next career combo, dream, believe, and soar.